I never saw anyone. That's the part people always ask first. They want a face, a figure, something they can point at and explain. But what happened here was quieter than that. And I think that's why it stayed with me. Because when you never actually see something, it never really stops existing in your imagination. The footsteps started on the third night, midnight exactly, slow, measured, back and forth above my ceiling. Not heavy, not rushed, just consistent. At first, I was annoyed. I remember lying there, waiting for them to stop. But they didn't. They kept moving. Back, forth, for almost an hour, until the sound stopped so suddenly, it felt like someone had noticed I was listening. The apartment above mine was supposed to be empty. That's what the landlord told me. Been empty for years. He said it casually, but his eyes flicked upward when he said it. Just for a second. I didn't think much of it then. I moved into the building because I needed quiet. After the divorce, silence felt safer than conversation. No shared routines, no explanations, just a small place where nothing expected anything from me. The building matched that feeling perfectly. Old hallways, dim lighting, floorboards that remembered every step. The footsteps came again the next night, midnight, exactly. Same pace, same path. After a while, I realized something strange. They never changed rhythm, never hurried, never paused. Whoever walked upstairs moved like someone with nowhere else to be. The next morning, I asked the landlord, Collins, older man, soft voice. He frowned in a way that felt practiced. No one up there, he said. Old building. Pipes make noise. He smiled politely. Conversation over. But when I turned away, I noticed him glance upward again. The sounds changed over the next week, not louder, just more specific. A chair sliding softly across wood, a faint tapping, once, very clearly. The sound of a glass being set down. That sound stayed with me, because pipes don't drink. I started waiting for the footsteps. Evenings became quieter. I made tea, turned off the television early, listened. When midnight came and the first step sounded, I felt relieved, like someone else was awake with me. Some nights, the footsteps felt heavy, not physically, emotionally, as if the air carried exhaustion. Other nights they felt lighter, restless. I started assigning moods to them. That's when I realized how lonely I had become. One night I heard something new, a soft humming, barely there, like someone trying to remember a song. It faded quickly, but the silence afterward felt warmer, as if the room had exhaled. I went upstairs the next morning. The hallway felt colder than mine. The door to the apartment looked untouched, dust along the frame, no marks near the lock. I pressed my ear against it. Nothing. Still, I felt something. Not fear. Recognition. Colin saw me coming downstairs. He didn't ask what I was doing. He just said quietly, "You hear it too, then?" Not a question, a statement. I laughed awkwardly, said something about old plumbing. He didn't laugh back, just nodded, like he was relieved I didn't ask more. The footsteps continued, midnight to 1, always. Sometimes I paced my own apartment while listening. Kitchen to window, window to hallway, back again. I didn't notice how similar my rhythm was until later. Sleep got worse, dreams filled with unfamiliar rooms. Dust floating in sunlight, the feeling of waiting for someone who never arrives. I woke feeling tired, even after sleeping. Then the power went out one night. Everything went quiet. No appliances, no distant traffic, just darkness, and the footsteps upstairs, clearer than ever, slower, careful. I sat still and listened, and for the first time, I didn't feel afraid. I felt sad, like whoever walked above me was trying not to disturb anyone. The footsteps stopped directly above me. Long silence, then a creak, like someone lowering into a chair, and a faint sound, an exhale. The next day I started researching the building, old records, newspaper archives, and tucked into a small article, I found her, a woman who had lived alone in the upstairs apartment decades ago. Widowed young. Neighbors said she paced at night because she couldn't sleep. Walking to keep warm. Walking so she wouldn't feel alone. She died during winter, alone. The article mentioned someone else, a maintenance worker who checked on her regularly, someone she trusted. The name stopped me. Collins. That night, I asked him. He went very quiet. She didn't like silence, he said finally. She said silence meant people forgot you. He stared at the floor. She walked so she could hear proof she was still here. I asked if he believed in ghosts. He didn't answer, just said softly, some sounds don't leave a place. After that, the footsteps changed, quieter, shorter, sometimes stopping for long stretches, as if listening. One night they stopped halfway through. Silence settled over the room, and I realized something that frightened me. I was afraid they wouldn't come back. The last night I heard them clearly. They crossed the room once, then back. A long pause, one final step, soft, almost grateful. After that, nothing. No footsteps, no tapping, no humming, just quiet. The kind that feels wrong after you get used to being accompanied. I told Collins they had stopped. He nodded like he expected it. They stop when someone finally listens, he said. I asked what that meant. He just smiled. She didn't want to be forgotten. Weeks passed. The apartment felt larger, colder, too quiet. I started sleeping badly again. Started walking at night without thinking. Kitchen to window, window to hallway, back and forth, midnight to 1. Then one night, I heard footsteps below me, slow, measured, familiar. I froze, listening. The rhythm matched mine exactly. And that's when I remembered. That apartment had always been empty too. Now, when midnight comes, I sometimes stop walking. I stand very still, listening. The footsteps below start only when mine stop. Sometimes there's a soft tap, sometimes a chair sliding, sometimes a faint hum that almost becomes a song. I wonder if Collins knew, if that's why he rented me this place. Because the building doesn't keep ghosts. It keeps loneliness, passing it from room to room, from floor to floor, waiting for someone who understands silence well enough to hear it move. I still haven't seen anyone, and maybe that's better, because seeing would end the mystery. Some things feel more real when they stay just outside certainty. Sometimes I lie awake, thinking about the woman upstairs, walking so she wouldn't disappear. And I realize something that unsettles me more than the footsteps ever did. The sounds below don't start until mine stop, like someone waiting, listening, learning my rhythm. The same way I learned hers. And lately, I've started wondering if someday they'll stop too. And someone else will move in and hear me walking above them.